This is what I'm not doing for our holiday homeschool plans this year. Every year when Christmas comes around, it's time to do a little bit of holiday homeschool planning. So I'm super curious before I get started. Do you do anything in like December, November time period for Christmas or any of the holidays in the winter? Let me know in the comments down below if you plan for this for your homeschool. If this is your first year homeschooling, maybe you're like, what do I do? Do we just continue on with our regular school plans? And then we try to squeeze in all the Christmas stuff in between. And especially now, there's just so many resources available for Christmas holiday homeschool plans. You know, I start scrolling Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube, you start seeing all these things coming through. Hey, do this Christmas nature study, or hey, do this Christmas holiday book plan, or hey, do this Christmas morning time plans. There's a lot out there and a lot of possibilities. And maybe you're like me and you have that personality where you just want to do all the things. You see this shiny thing here and this there and you want to do it all. I remember one Christmas that I did three different, at least, homeschool resources, curriculum for Christmas. And I tried to like squeeze it all in. I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this book from this one and we're gonna do all of these nature. I don't know. I was trying to squeeze it all together. I think after like a couple weeks, I just felt so frazzled and burnt out that I just like dropped it all. And I was like, all right, we're done. We're just gonna start wrapping gifts and getting ready for Christmas Day and not worry about school right now. So I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to get burnt out and overwhelmed by all the options out there. So I'm gonna share with you what I'm not doing for our holiday homeschool plans this year, and then I'll share at the end what I am doing. And I wanna give you a few tips to help you plan for this Christmas homeschool time, so that way you don't reach full out burnout Grinch mode by the middle of December. The first thing that I'm not going to do for our holiday homeschool plans is daily readings. So something that has something you have to read every day, which, you know, is like most of the Christmas homeschooling resources out there. Not all of them though. Some of them are a little more adaptable than others, but you know, the kind where you get like, 25 books to read starting on December 1st until Christmas Day, or, you know, a curriculum just to read every day, or you're reading a passage of scripture, you know, every day of the month. I notice when I do things like this and I have a day that I miss, then I just get thrown off. Or maybe we have 2 or 3 days in a row where it's just busy with kids' activities or parties or co-op things, and we miss a few days, and then I feel just completely thrown off because you can't read, you know, day 10 when you're only on day 4 and you've missed all the other ones in between. What are you gonna do? And then I just feel all behind, and then I have to rush to catch up. So for that reason, I don't like to pick up curriculum resources for Christmas that require daily readings. So I am sharing my holiday homeschool plans along with other wonderful homeschool mamas. It is hosted by Christy at These Little Sprouts. So you're gonna love her. She has some 3 little ones that she's homeschooling, and she loves sharing about doing art with them and being messy and creative with them. And she has some good unit studies and living books things. I love her. She's so sweet. You're gonna wanna check out her channel as well as the playlist with the other moms who are joining us sharing our plans. So don't forget to check that out in the description below. Next thing that I'm not going to do for our holiday homeschool plans is, like I said earlier, to not use more than one resource and try to do it all. Like I said, there's so many good resources out there, and trying to piece together things from so many different resources can be super overwhelming for mom and for the kids. So I want to try to keep it simple and pick one and yeah, just keep it simple. But I will share with you some of my favorites I've used in the past. I've used Pam Barnhill's Christmas morning time plans, and I think it's free. I don't know if she's changed that recently, but I've used that in the past. Great book list, some really great videos and songs and poems to do for Christmas. A Gentle Feast by Julie H. Ross. I used her curriculum last year. She has a great morning time Christmas plan as well. And I have to share, I haven't used this one, but a good friend of mine, Rachel from 7 and All, she has her curriculum resources, and she's from Where Did You Learn That? Where'd you learn that? She has a Christmas book, you know, countdown resource. And she has it in English and in Spanish for bilingual families or anybody wanting to do more Spanish. And this is a really neat resource where she has books and stories from like around the world, all different types of Christmas celebrations, and history story from the Bible. Yeah, really great resource. You want to check that one out too. I recommend. I'll link to all of these in the description below. And the point is, don't pick all of these. Research them a little bit and then pick one. Go with your gut, which you think is going to be your favorite, and just pick one and go with it. That's what I recommend. Try not to do all of them all in one year. By the way, if you are new to homeschooling, this is your first year, maybe your second year, and you're still trying to figure out how do I get started homeschooling, or maybe you haven't started yet and you're thinking about it, I have written a book. It's a step-by-step guide to get started homeschooling. It's called Ready, Set, Homeschool, and I'll link to that in the description below. I like to give you just the few basic steps to get started and walk you through how to homeschool and what are the main things that you need to think about and worry on. So check that out in the description below if you'd like more information on that. The next thing that I'm not doing for our homeschool plans for Christmas this year is taking the whole month of December off. And this I recommend for mamas with little kiddos. I totally recommend it. Yes, if you have kids who are 6 and under, take the whole month of December off for school. You will not regret it. It's wonderful because they're at that age where your life is definitely a lot more school. They can tag along with you as you plan for Christmas things, as you wrap presents, or maybe not as you wrap the presents. Maybe they can help wrap their siblings' presents, not their own presents. They can help you Christmas shopping for their siblings or other family members. The kids can help you planning meals, making cookies with you, doing Christmas crafts, like all the fun things. So I have done that in the past and I highly recommend it. I did do a video on some of our favorite Christmas crafts. They're super simple and easy, and if you like crafting with your kiddos, you can go watch that video here. But for us, for this year, I feel like we're at a place where we're good. We're not taking the whole month of December off. We're gonna continue on with our core subjects in December for at least the first few weeks. And then, the week of Christmas and the week after, we'll take a nice break. But what I will do, I will probably pull back a little bit on our history and our science, and I will put in our Christmas, our Christmas read alouds, Christmas picture books, Christmas crafts, all those things that my kids like to do, Christmas nature study, and I'll put that in where we would normally do our regular history and science. Yeah, I don't have babies or toddlers right now, and my mind feels fairly clear, and I feel like I'm ready to take on the holiday season without having to break off of school completely. And thankfully, a lot of my kids are independent in some of their work, so I'm not as hands-on with it as I used to be. So that's what I'm doing as a mom with kids who are a little bit older. My kids, if you want to know, they're 12, almost 10. He'll be 10 in December. And my youngest is 7. So that's how old my kids are. All right, now what am I going to use for our holiday plans this year? I'm going to tell you this really quick. I do want to use Cindy West's Christmas Nature Study. I haven't grabbed it yet, but I do like Cindy West's resources from Our Journey Westward. And she has a Christmas nature study that I feel like is super simple, easy to do, and we'll do that in place of what we would have done our nature study in science for a regular routine. She has a green and red nature walk. So you go on a nature walk and you look for all the green and red that might be out there when you're walking. Hopefully, we've got green around still, but maybe, I don't know, there are some reds. So along with doing the Christmas nature study, I am gonna just read good books. That's what we do every year and we do all the time. Thankfully, our A Kind Kingdom curriculum from A Peaceful Press has some really good Christmas books picked out already, like A Christmas Carol by Dickens and The Legend of St. Nicholas. And I'm gonna look for audiobooks for those that we'll probably sit and listen to while we just color or work on handicraft things. Or maybe I'll fold laundry while we listen, stuff like that. And then I always like to bring in our favorite picture books that I get from Read Aloud Revival, has a great book list. And I think I might just go searching for more too. I know there's others out there that I'll go search and see what sounds good for us this year. And I'd like to add that my family's heritage is Swedish, if you can't tell. But my mom, when she was younger, when she was growing up at her church, they would celebrate Santa Lucia Day. Is it Saint Lucia? Santa Lucia. They celebrate that on December 10th. And each year I try to talk to my kids about that, just to share a little bit of our heritage and the story of Santa Lucia. We like to watch videos on it, and we make peppercorn, which is gingerbread cookies. And then we eat those cookies while we read the story or watch a video about it. I'm probably not gonna have my daughter dress up with the lights wreath on her head. I always think about it, and then it's always too late to get things ready, and I always forget to do that. So maybe I'll do that this year, but she's getting a little older. I don't know if she's as interested in dressing up for that anymore. But that's just a really sweet heritage thing that we do for my Swedish background. By the way, who am I and why should you care? Hi, I'm Ashley here at Joyful Noise Learning, and I love to talk about homeschooling. I'm a Charlotte Mason inspired homeschool mom. I love to do funny homeschool videos as well, and to encourage you in your biblical and affordable homeschooling resources. I've been homeschooling my kids for the last 8 years when this video was first posted, and I've only got 3 kids, so 3 kiddos that I homeschool, and I'm a former English teacher, and I love researching curriculum. I'm a curriculum researcher junkie, maybe, is that what you want to call it? And to wrap it up here, if you need help with Christmas planning, my friend Leanne has an intentional Christmas planning guide. I've used this every year. I may not use all parts of it, but it's really helpful just to get your overall holiday planning just organized a little bit, not just for school, but including school and just everything that goes in between and all of that. So it's good to just have a good plan in place so you know what's coming, so you're not as overwhelmed. So I'll link to that in the description below. This is not sponsored, by the way. It's just a resource that I love and that I use. And don't forget to check out Christy and the other homeschool moms and what they're doing for Christmas plans for homeschool for this December. So I hope you have a great holiday season. We'll see you next time.